So we got to talk about Bitcoin here. As you guys can see, we broke out of this area. So we broke out of this channel that we have actually been in since April. Yes, we had that pump inside of April from 73K all the way up here to about 111K. We created new all-time highs, nearly getting all the way up to 112K, but really got rejected right before 112K here. And yeah, we pulled back from there. So as you can see here, there was two resistance lines, right? We passed this one here easily. This was 108K. And then we ended up having to pass this one right here. And this one was our all-time high, 108K. But then we had to go ahead and try to pass this one right here. Did it very briefly. We touched it and went past it. And then as you can see, we went right back down almost immediately, actually. So that's it is what it is. But what we got to do is watch out for what's going to be happening next here inside of Bitcoin. But anyways, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Let's go straight into this thing. So look, boom. Right now inside of Bitcoin, we are at another critical level. As you can see here, this is a minor support / resistance level. We're using it as support right now. We used it as resistance before. As you can see, we hit it all of these times. So this is a very critical level right now. And that's kind of why you're seeing us just kind of sitting here, right? We're almost stagnant right here because it's trying to decide whether or not it's going to be bullish or bearish. So that's pretty much what Bitcoin is on its way of doing right now. We got a few things going on with the federal markets, right? Fed Chair Powell speech, as it says here, June 2nd, 2025, job openings, ISM services, all that, unemployment rates on June 6th. So we got some stuff coming up that's going to pretty much control the market. So we got to watch out for that. And right here on the MACD, you can see some selling is coming in and it is starting to curve downwards here on the MACD. So there is that possibility that we break this support and go down to the next support here at 99K. The reason why we chose 99K here, as you can see back here, the 21st of November, 22nd, 21st, wherever that is, you can see we had the resistance there. We had more resistance right here around Christmas time. And then you can see we used it as resistance here and here, briefly touched it here. But that is a critical level for us, 99K, because, when we were trying to break out the 100K, we literally went past it with flying colors, right? But we used it as resistance before, and it is like a psychological number as well. 99K is actually a very significant level there, so we definitely would need to pay attention to the 99K area. So that's one thing. The next thing that I would also mention, like as we come down here to this support, we would, if we do not bounce off the support, right, and then pump and get back above 104K, the next level that we could be seeing this going down to is this next support here, around 95K. But personally, like I do believe we're gonna have a little bit of a pullback here, but I think we're gonna get right back into that bullish territory eventually. And that's just because like everything was going well, everything was going good. We just needed a pullback. We really haven't had a strong pullback for a little while here. You can kind of see we traded sideways from May 8th all the way up until like May 19th. And you can see the major pullbacks really have not happened since April here inside of Bitcoin. Like we've seen pullbacks, but not major ones. Like we've seen pullbacks going from 98K back down to 93 and then pumping and then going sideways a little bit. Now we're at a pullback from 111K. And now we're all the way down to 104K. We really haven't had a major pullback, and we haven't had a pullback this big since before April. And that's kind of a big deal when you think about it. So I just want you guys to think about that. Now, moving on to the next thing here, how big is this pullback going to be? How much of a pullback are we going to get, and how big is it going to be? That's really what a lot of people are thinking about. Now, obviously, we have support all the way down here at 74K, but we really shouldn't get all the way down to 74K. And I'll tell you why here. Right now, Bitcoin has already set a new all-time high, okay? Bitcoin set a new all-time high, and it's probably going to end up getting to this Fibonacci before we even see something like that, right? Again, I've been talking about this for a while here, anywhere from 119K to 150K. 150K at the very most. On average, I would say about 130K, somewhere around here. And then over here at 119K is going to be the lowest that we'll probably get before we have that major pullback that just shakes everybody out, like the bear market crashed, right? And that's kind of what I'm looking at here. So obviously, we can't just have the peak of the bull market happening right now. It doesn't work like that. We just can't have it happening like that. And the whales, they don't want it to happen like that. So what you end up seeing inside of times like this is sideways movement followed by crashing. So we already seen our sideways movement here. We were from May 8th to about May 20th, somewhere around there. But it's possible for that sideways movement to, last for even longer. What if we just trade in this range for like the next month? Or what if we pull back here inside of Bitcoin to like the low 90K areas, trade sideways for a little bit, try to go up, get rejected, trade sideways for a little bit, and then have a breakout? We don't have to immediately break our resistance here. We kind of did that a little bit too fast. From May 8th or from April 8th all the way till now, we kind of did it a little bit too fast. So now things are going to slow down before we reach and create new all-time highs. Usually it does that when we hit new all-time highs, things pull back and they slow down. We hit new all-time highs again, things pull back, they slow down, and then it starts right back up again. So that's kind of what we're at right now. We're at the pullback and slow down range, and then eventually we can start back up. So that's just another thing. All right. Now, as for what Bitcoin's been doing for the whole overall market, it's kind of been having everything else moving sideways. Some altcoins have been, kind of outliers, but for the most part, everything else is either sideways or down right now. So it could be a good time to, start getting in at lower prices for certain altcoins. But honestly, when it comes to Bitcoin right now, Bitcoin isn't that low from what it's usually at. So I wouldn't be looking at Bitcoin like, hey, I'm gonna get in on this pullback. I'm gonna buy the dip on Bitcoin because this really is not that much of a dip. If I was gonna buy the dip on Bitcoin, then I would probably be looking for like the low 90Ks, low 80Ks, 70Ks. I wouldn't really be looking for buying Bitcoin anywhere in this range right here because we still haven't pulled back as much as we could. So I really wouldn't be looking at it like trying to get in for any of these ranges, even at 80K. Honestly, I'm really looking at the support here at 74K. Like this would be a decent area. But do you really think that we're gonna pull back out of nowhere, going all the way back down to 74K? Like it's very unlikely that it does that. It's always a possibility, but I still think it's unlikely that we just pull all the way back down to 74K out of nowhere. Because even when we did it back here, it took some time. Now, obviously, things can crash immensely. Things can crash huge, but typically those crashes take some type of event happening. Like let's say like we go something, God forbid, something bad happens with China, and we go, with a war with China or something like that. All right, then you will see everything crashing. But right now, I don't think that we have anything that's really at risk to make us completely crash within the matter of days going down to 74K. I don't see anything happening like that. Now, Trump's tariffs, they weren't like the worst thing in the world, but from January all the way down to April, it pulled us down. For literally January, February, March, April, for 4 months, it pulled us down to 74K. We would have to have something a little bit minor like that, I would say, to pull us back down to those levels again this time. So that's what we're looking at right now. Honestly, not too big of a deal. This pullback, I'm not even worried about it. But hey, I'll keep you all updated on this. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Definitely hit the like button and subscribe, all that good stuff. Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you guys want me to go over next. And as always, I'll be back with another video.